It's one thing to be able to kind of track it here and there on X. It's a whole nother thing to be able to sit in a room, shake some hands, and really hear about it in person. So if you're someone kind of tuning in here and you have an idea, last year we didn't have a booth, we didn't have an idea. This year we have a booth, we have everything going. So a lot can change in a single year.
What would you share with somebody in the audience that's looking to follow their passion or follow opportunity? What would you say?
It's cliche, but you got to do what you love. I was working in surgical robotics and would bust 2 hours a night getting a YouTube video that had 3 views on it, and did that enough times until those 3 turned to 10 and then turned into thousands. You just got to say, all right now is going to be the time, and get started. And the sooner I realize that at the end of the day, people just want to know what I'm thinking and my perspective on things and what I find interesting, the more success I've had. I came here and I feel like I'm like surrounded by family. And I think that's one of the most important feelings that you don't really get anywhere else.
Hey, what's going on, family and friends? We're back with another exclusive production from XRP Las Vegas 2025, the largest and most exciting XRP conference in the world. This one's a special treat. I had the honor of connecting with Connor McLoughlin, better known across all social media platforms as Mickle, one of the most respected voices in the XRP community and crypto community at large. In our conversation, Mickle shares his unique journey from surgical robotic scientist to Web3 wealth advisor, building digital wealth partners into a firm with nearly $400 million in assets under management in just 1 year. His philosophy on passion, consistency, even when the grind means editing videos on the road until 2 a.m. Yeah, I know the feeling oh too well. We also talked about the explosive growth of the XRP Las Vegas conference, what's next for the ecosystem, and who could be the game changers in 2026, why being genuine and following your own interests is the key to success in Web3, entrepreneurship, and beyond. This was a powerful conversation with someone who's not only shaping the conversation around XRP, but also living proof of what discipline and vision can achieve. So without any further ado, let's jump into my exclusive interview with Connor McLoughlin, aka Mickle, recorded live at XRP Las Vegas 2025. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, Mucho. What's going on, family and friends? It's day 2 at the XRP Las Vegas conference, and I'm surrounded by the likes of Mickle and so many fabulous people here in the XRP community.
But Mickle, this is a privilege. I know I missed you at the Digital Fusion Summit last month, but here we are. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a blast. So many great people at this event. One of my favorite parts about it is just being able to be in a room with people like yourself and so many other people doing really cool stuff in this ecosystem. It's one thing to be able to kind of track it here and there on X. It's a whole nother thing to be able to sit in a room, shake some hands, and really hear about it in person. So it's been really cool. It's crazy how big this is getting. Yeah. It is very exciting.
I was going to ask, how do you think this compares from last year?
There's a lot more going on. Last year, I think things were a little bit more centered around the stage. I think there was less kind of side projects going on. But man, it's really cool to see the growth in the ecosystem and more people doing cool stuff on the ledger. And I'll say right now, I think we'll probably see double the amount of booths next year. So if you're someone kind of tuning in here and you have an idea, last year we didn't have a booth, we didn't have an idea. This year we have a booth, we have everything going. So a lot can change in a single year, and I encourage everyone to go figure out how they can make that happen, because this is a very quick growing ecosystem and there's a ton of opportunity for people out there.
We're obviously surrounded by innovation, fintech entrepreneurs, passionate investors. What do you think is not being talked enough here at the XRP Las Vegas conference?
What's not being talked about enough? Maybe kind of what I just went into. Maybe kind of like what's going to be the next big thing. I think there's a lot of focus here on sort of what's here and what people are doing. And I think the thing that I'm most excited about is like what's next. Like what's the next big cool thing? Who's going to be that person who blows everyone away next year? One of my favorite parts about it is there's not a lot of competition here. People are genuinely excited about everyone executing and doing cool stuff. And I think that's what I'm excited about, right? Like, who's going to be that person to bring that game-changing, crazy idea that just blows everyone away next year?
Might even be under the hood at DWP or something that Mickle may be affiliated with. Any special announcements that you'd be so kind to share with the audience that's unfortunately unable to join us today?
Nothing in particular. Super excited about what we're doing at DWP. Last year, not having a company, and this year having close to $400 million in assets under management. 2 funds, over $80 million each. Surreal to see growth that quickly. It's been a lot of hard work, and can't even imagine what next year will look like.
From a robotics scientist to a wealth advisor, what a career path. What would you share with somebody in the audience that's looking to follow their passion or follow opportunity, what would you say?
It's cliche, but you got to do what you love. And there's stages to that. Like I loved what I did when I did surgical robotics, but being able to fully align myself with what I'm doing now and on the crypto side of stuff has been incredible. And I guess one of my biggest lessons along the way is like, you can't really wait for stuff to come to you. You kind of just got to go do it. I was working in surgical robotics and would bust 2 hours a night getting a YouTube video that had 3 views on it, and did that enough times until those 3 turned to 10 and then turned into thousands. And it was a lot of work along the way. And for a while, a lot of it seemed pointless and it wouldn't materialize. And then it kind of just seems like consistency and hard work pays off, but you just can't put it off. You just got to say, all right, right now is going to be the time, and get started. And one of the things I always live by, as soon as you create that routine and you make it part of what you do, it becomes like ingrained into who you are as a person. I feel like that's where success comes.
And I think a lot of people recognize how you approach not just being a professional, but even in your personal endeavors. You've got a rigorous structure, a routine. And even when we're on the road, going to different events, you're still grinding away and editing, being present for the community. What would you say for those in the audience that maybe there's somebody in the audience that's aspiring to be just like you? What would be a good first step or words of advice for someone that's aspiring to, again, follow their passions and dive into this Web3 space?
I think outside of creating a routine, because I really do think that's critical, is realizing that people are only going to follow you and care about you because it's your interest that they also have an interest in. I think too many people go try to say, okay, like, people want me to talk about this, so I'm going to start doing this. And one of the things that I found is those were always like my least successful videos, like my least successful ideas. All my most successful ideas is just doing what I want to talk about and talking about what I care about. And what I found is like, that's what people like. Like they like hearing from me and like hearing the things that I'm interested in. And the sooner I realize that at the end of the day, people just want to know what I'm thinking and my perspective on things and what I find interesting, the more success I've had. So I used to spend a lot of time thinking like, oh, I don't know if people will be interested in this or not, or maybe I want to talk about this, but people are more interested in this. And now it's become such a freedom because it's like almost like what's interesting to me today, like that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Being genuine, authentic, giving that information raw, and that's what you do, Mickle. So kudos to you. I'm proud of you. So many people are proud of you here. For those in the audience who are unable to attend the largest XRP conference in the world, what would you say to them?
I would say you got to come next year, man. It is so much fun. And one of the things I've actually heard from people is especially people who feel like a little isolated on their own, maybe at home, don't have a lot of friends in crypto. One of the things I consistently hear is like, I came here and I feel like I'm like surrounded by family. And I think that's one of the most important feelings that you don't really get anywhere else.
Yeah, well said, well said. For those in the audience that would like to follow you as a leader in the space, what's the best way to follow you, Mickle?
Type in Mickle somewhere and I'm sure it'll show up. Be careful of scammers. I won't DM you, but YouTube, X, my main platforms, XRP, Mickle will come up somewhere.
Yeah, you won't miss this handsome face. Mickle, thank you for sharing your time with me and have a great time in Vegas.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ray.